Hi, it's me Tux, and today I'll be covering the spoilers for chapter 1123 of One Piece. So let's get right into it. So the chapter starts by showing us that all the Marines on the Egghead Island are KO'd, and that includes Vice Admirals. The first thing that came to my mind was, is Kizaru also included in that? Like, that's probably the most important thing to know, like whether Kizaru was also knocked out. Because if the Haki knocked him out as well, then the power cliff has truly gone crazy. And another weird thing is, how did the likes of Usopp stay conscious? I mean, if even the Vice Admirals were knocked out, then did the Joy Boy Haki somehow not target him? Because it's just hard to believe that even like the likes of Usopp are strong enough to withstand it if at least all the Vice Admirals cannot. Especially if even Kizaru will be sleeping. Now, the crazy thing that follows it, and definitely the statement that everyone's probably gonna be talking about when this chapter comes out, since truly nothing more major happens this chapter or is said, is a statement made by Dory and Bragi. They basically compare Joy Boy's Haki to Shanks by saying that the color of Supreme King that Joy Boy used through the robot could be even higher or stronger than Shanks. Now, the crazy part about it is that they say could be, which implies some level of uncertainty. So that's pretty crazy because Shanks' Haki is not clearly weaker than Joy Boy's Haki, since they aren't even like fully sure. I also saw people saying that this could mean that Shanks' Haki could be better than Whitebeard's and Roger's, since Dory and Bragi chose to compare Joy Boy's Haki to Shanks instead of those two. But we don't know if they even saw Roger and Whitebeard fight, so that point doesn't really work. Either way, this is honestly pretty insane hype for Shanks. It could also be de-hype for Joy Boy, if you look at it from another perspective, since it means that Shanks already has Haki comparable to someone who is basically seen as the ceiling of where Luffy needs to at least get to in order to defeat the world government, so Shanks already apparently there. So you could also argue that it's probably de-hype for Joy Boy because of those reasons. Whether it's one of those or not, only time will tell. Now, just before Sunny set sail to Elbaf, Sanji takes a last look at Vegapunk's corpse. So if anyone still had any doubts about Vegapunk being dead or, just coming back to life once the fight's over, this time it's probably pretty apparent that he's actually staying dead. So yeah, this is one of the first dead characters in a while in One Piece. And after that, a flashback starts. Now, this flashback probably makes up most of the chapter's length, but not really much happens, so in short, Vegapunk was suspecting that there was a traitor amongst the Vegapunks. He initially thought that it would be Lilith, but at last they discovered that it would be York. And this was 2 weeks ago, so Vegapunk knew 2 weeks ahead of these events that we saw on Egghead that he would be betrayed and that he would probably be killed, and there was no escape from it. So they prepared the counterattack, which was basically the giant robot hiding Den Mushi, and they also recorded a video for the broadcast. They then deleted the last 2 weeks from their memories to hide from York the plan they prepared, and that's pretty much it. Now, this honestly kinda surprised me, the fact that Vegapunk, the smartest man in the verse, knew about the betrayal 2 weeks ahead of all of this. And this was the best plan that he could come up with. Now, I'm not saying it was a bad plan, but could he really not come up with a better plan than whatever he's done here? I mean, that's kind of underwhelming, knowing that he's like supposed to be the smartest character there. Either way, I don't really know where Oda was going with that flashback. Like, what was the point of letting us know that he knew 2 weeks ago? Maybe he just wanted to make it clear that it wasn't really an ass pull, that Vegapunk somehow had this all prepared. Well, either way, after this flashback, it looks like it's going to be the end of the chapter, as the chapter ends literally just with the giant pirates, Usopp and Luffy celebrating that they are going to Elbaf as they are on the way there. Now, in my opinion, this chapter was a decent closure for the entire arc, but obviously, the Shanks glazing is going to be at the forefront of the talk about this chapter. That statement is honestly kind of crazy. Yeah, I was not expecting that. You could probably argue that Shanks is at the Pirate King level at this point, because like genuinely, if you have like Haki on the level of Joy Boy or close to it, I mean, what else do you really need to be at the level to, get to One Piece? I mean, Do we think that Roger was stronger than Joy Boy? Probably not. So if it goes Joy Boy at the top and then everyone else below, and Shanks is already, getting super close to Joy Boy, that even Dory and Broggy cannot, distinguish between the power levels between Shanks and Joy Boy that well, that they are so uncertain, then yeah, you could probably argue that. So Shanks' stock is definitely going up after this chapter, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know, guys, in the comments, what did you think about this? And yeah, see ya!